This morning, the crews responded to a residential structure fire. The initial arrival report was that we have a two-story apartment complex with heavy smoke and fire conditions showing.
Hey, we're at the last 4 feet.
The crew's background and knowledge of this zone revealed that it's a wood frame structure with stucco exterior.
Hey, who was in there pulling ceilings with us?
That painted the picture that it'd be very important to go ahead and get crews inside aggressively for search and rescue, fire attack, and pulling ceilings. The search crew did perform the primary search and all clear on the primary search. Had a secondary unit come in and do the secondary search. While this was occurring, we did have fire coming out of the front door and the front window that was appearing to auto-ignite the floor above. Due to the heavy smoke, we had a third engine pull additional hand line, go to the second floor, force entry on the apartment above, do a search, and also look for extension for possible fire. The room was negative for fire. It was not occupied.
Okay, so we just got to double check that one for CO.
At that point, we went ahead and looked at the neighboring apartments, exposures to the left and right of the building. The aggressive actions in these type of structures is important so that you don't have fire spread. You do have a common chaseway, maybe just a smoke or the electrical did fail. Being a wood frame structured building, it's very common for the fire to spread to the upper floors as well as into the neighboring exposures. These actions that the crews did today was very successful in maintaining and keeping the fire in check and keeping it in the room of origin. As we're learning, products of combustion are becoming more and more hazardous to our health, carcinogens that are involved, that we want to make sure that we decon our firefighters as they leave the building.
There was a good amount of smoke in there.
Before they get completely undressed and off air, we want to go ahead and start a gross decon.
The power shut off is on the Delta side?
Generally, these are types of meetings that we have with the crews, the initial crews on scene, and those that were working the incident. We call it a post-incident analysis.
I hit all that bedroom.
We want to be able to see everybody's point of view of what they saw, what they heard, and what they were able to accomplish on scene. What this does, it helps us learn about the incident, learn about things that we did great, learn about things that we need to work on, and also check and make sure our equipment is in good working order to return back into service.
What's missing right now?
We all can learn from these experiences, whether you're the incident commander or you're the crew on the ground that's making entry. The communicators and the dispatchers on scene help us get the additional information to be able to locate where our water sources are, also to assist us in painting the picture from witnesses that are calling in, describing what they see.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it.
It helps us better prepare when we arrive on scene to maintain the type of actions that we're going to take. So a big thank you to the communicators and dispatchers for helping us do our job. It's very rewarding that the crews can put into practice the training and the knowledge and the skills that they received over the years.
We're going to try to get the fire to roll over your head.
Also, you may have noticed that we had senior crews that were working with newer members of our department, walking on the outside of the structure, also explaining to them building construction so that they would be more aware in the future if they come to this type of building, some of the actions that need to be taken so they can be successful as well in the future. Dispatch command terminated, time 23 available.